sticks and patrol various points of the Brooklyn shoreline, including the township of Gravesend, Brighton Beach, Coney Island, and Sheep's Head Bay. That's my neighborhood, folks. Now, well, by the 1830s, New York City's constabulary is among the largest and most efficient in the United States, with separate day and night units. During the daytime, elite upper crust political appointees patrol the streets. They don't make any money. They are unsalaried and earn fees and private rewards. So, if you want help fighting crime, you're going to have to pay up in advance. Now, at night, an older group of men, known as the Leatherheads, due to the helmets they wear, patrol the, waterfronts and streets. The Leatherheads are poorly paid, scantily trained, and ill-respected. Bribery and blackmail is commonplace, and the people hate them with a passion. Now, New York City's semi-professional police force is modeled after the London Bobby system, but does not quite live up to the, British standard. In the late 1830s, Justice Oliver M. Lowndes reorganizes the police force with multiple station houses, alarm bells, and brand new jails. Now, for example, Lee Toombs, the famous Manhattan prison, opens up for business in 1838. He also expands police powers as race riots, gang fights, and labor trouble increases dramatically. One of the reasons armories sprang up all over the place. Now, during these years of the early republic, the sex trade thrives in the city of New York, including the township of Gravesend. While streetwalkers are always rounded up, bordellos and whorehouses are seldom bothered by police. They are set up near hotels and theaters in a nice type of business arrangement. And everybody, including the police, gets a slice of the pie. Now, only those establishments that victimized or robbed their patrons, their customers, are raided. And the women that are arrested are often charged with disorderly conduct, not prostitution. So there's already plenty of corruption going on. Now, in 1843, New York City's semi-privatized system of justice officially changes gears with the New York Municipal Police Act. There is no more night watch department and no more marshals and street inspectors. Each ward or patrol district, i.e. precinct, is given its own station house, and the police are now fully salaried, and all fees and private rewards are abolished. An official uniform is also issued, a blue frock coat covered with buttons, a dark blue vest, and blue pantaloons. To top it all off, a star-shaped copper badge. That's where you get the copper from, that term copper. And the individual officer's ID number is embroidered on the blue frock coat. The public is not impressed and boos them. Boo! In the streets, since there's a bit of a problem, because there's two rival police forces operating at the same time, the municipals and the metropolitans. Now, two separate forces at the same time, and they are split by both political and ethnic lines. The rival police departments fight with each other in battles that rage in the streets. They are, supposed to be patrolling. They're fighting in the streets they're supposed to be making safe. And the rival cops fight over possession of station houses. And the cop wars rage on for hours with the street gangs like the Dead Rabbits and Plug Uglies joining in the fun. Now, in this era of rival police forces, chaos ensues, and criminals have a grand old time. They are arrested by one police force and are often rescued and released by the other police force. And police corruption is matched only by police lawlessness. You have counterfeiting going on, confidence scams, election frauds, voter intimidation, blackmail, and the systematic brutalizing of, newer immigrants, mostly Italians and Eastern European Jews. So New York is not a nice place at this moment in time. The two rival police forces, collaborate with landlords, racketeers, abortionists, bordellos, and gambling dens. All must pay protection money in a systematic shakedown system that reaps high mega profits for the coppers in blue. Sadly, these type of shenanigans still go on today, especially here in Brighton Beach, Coney Island, and Sheepshead Bay. Now, this is the era of crude policing. Knock them out cold or senseless with your billy club and hurl them through the window of, their favorite saloon or restaurant. Now, vagrants and the poor, of course, suffer the most. They are arrested and locked up pending trial in a police court with no jury. Most are quickly convicted and sent to workhouses as virtual slave labor, hauling coal, making bricks, laying pipe, and of course laboring on the rock pile. Now, unescorted or idle women, i.e. streetwalkers or the working poor, are rounded up and often charged with moral insanity, then sent to workhouses, where they sometimes spend years being mentally and morally re-educated. Some of these evil doings and corruption would cease with the election of Reform Mayor Fernando Wood, who consolidates the two rival police departments into one unit. Wood connects all station houses via telegraph and appoints more and more Irish to the police force. Mayor Wood is popular with immigrant labor and the working classes and sets up a public assistance and, public job program, which of course helps. But the corruption and evil deeds continue to this very day. A lot of what went on in the 19th century is still going on right now. Virtually none of these reforms within the New York Police Department means a damn thing to the township of Gravesend, which, as I mentioned, since 1654 has been a separate entity that rules itself. Gravesend may be a part of New York State, but it is not officially a part of the city of New York or the borough of Brooklyn at this moment in time, for that matter. Now, the Boss Tweed Tammany Hall years are nothing less than remarkable for their lawlessness and corruption. And that lawlessness and corruption spills over into the township of Gravesend, spills over into the neighborhoods of Brighton Beach, Coney Island, and Sheepshead Bay. Now, in 1867, the farmers of Gravesend elect an obscure Irishman as constable, John Y. McCain, whose family immigrated to the U.S. from Ireland while McCain was just a baby, a little baby boy, an infant. Now, as a youth, McCain, he digs clams around Sheepshead Bay, and as a young man, he manages to dodge the draft for the Civil War. He becomes a carpenter and part-time contractor, and, a devout Christian, and soon becomes the superintendent of Sabbath or Sunday school at the Methodist Episcopal Church in Sheepshead Bay, which leads to his election as constable of the township of Gravesend. Before long, McCain is wearing diamonds on his shirt front and cuffs, becoming a vivid and colorful figure. He soon consolidates his political power and locks up control of Gravesend by bribing his way to the office of town supervisor. Now, town